in your opinion, which would come first? Would it be a World War III or a Civil War II in the United States?
Well, I believe both are happening now. They are happening.
World War III
and
a Civil War. You think we're in a Civil War too?
Yeah. I think
Wow.
we've been in it since the Civil War. It never ended. It did not end in a way that could bring closure to the issues. And the same issues crop up every generation or so. Same stuff. There's a lot that yet to be settled. Understand this. It's something we're meant to do. I'm not talking about the war. And the war now, thankfully, is not pitched battles like it was in what we call the Civil War. But the conflict continues. It could become pitched battles again. There's always that threat. Now, as I've been saying, we're called to be a nation divided. Now, there are ways we're called to be the United Nation, the United States, and we have to be united. But we were called to be a place where there was enough freedom to openly and candidly debate the main issues of our time. And that's what's being closed down right now, where nobody can really address the issues. You'll be accused of everything under the earth. It's silence the opposition. Don't give them a chance to talk. We will explode into open, violent civil war if we go down that path, just shutting everybody down. The ability to openly and freely debate these issues. One thing is going to help to bring light to the issues and resolution and God's answer to the issues. And that can't happen without the openness, the debate, living in the light instead of the darkness. So we have to maintain that freedom. It shuts down, it's going to melt down. And so the Civil War has never been settled, the main issues of it. And the blue and the gray is one of the most representative. The forces of true union versus gray is often in prophetic symbolism, gray matter. Just humanism, we can figure out our own problems and all this instead of going to the only one who can resolve human issues. Every human problem is a result of mankind thinking we can run this world without God.
And that's where we are.
And the answer to every human problem, every single one, is no, we can't. Let's turn back to God.
That's right.
And that is the only source of true union. But we have to have this freedom of debate where we don't just try to crush and silence and accuse and everything else, but where there is understanding comes from standing under somebody else's place. And so I think what we're seeing is another round. And are we going to resolve this in a way that can lead to true resolution, or are we going to see it melt down into violence? And maybe even more devastating violence than the Civil War. There is the potential for that. Now, I say that because it would be neighbor against neighbor. It would be in our streets, in our cities, it wouldn't be the pitched battles like we had back then. This would be far worse. If it goes the direction some are trying to take it. So that's one issue. World War III also, I believe began, maybe like many things, you have trouble pointing to a hard date, but it's the fulfillment of what was prophesied in Genesis about Ishmael, where he would be a wild donkey of a man, and every man's hand would be against him, and he would be against every man. It's an ultimate conflict, and we're coming to that. Now, also, we have to see that Ishmael was blessed by God to be a great nation, one of Abraham's sons. And but that's an ultimate conflict that has to happen. There's a whole lot more to it spiritually. It's really about the birthright, Isaac and Ishmael, that conflict. It's a lot of things that, again, were never settled. And this is, the harvest is the maturing of everything sown in man, the good and the bad. That's why in Isaiah 60 you see the deep darkness, you also see the glory of the Lord being revealed. The good part is, verse 3 says, the nations will come to the brightness of your rising. The light is going to win.
Yes.
The light is absolutely going to win. The light is far more powerful than the darkness.
Praise God.
So the light wins, we see that. But you're going to see this ultimate conflict between light and darkness and all of the unresolved issues that have been sown in mankind. We're going to see coming to a head right now.